Morning, everybody. Welcome to Network Marketing 101. Thank you for joining us this morning. So this morning we're going to talk about big business. I'm assuming that everyone has joined us on the webinar this morning because your intention and your choice is to build a big business with the SIA. And so the first thing to understand that is the way we create a big business in network marketing is by understanding a very basic principle that big business is created by a system where a few simple actions are duplicated by a large number of people on a consistent basis. And so in order to teach this principle, we're using the baseball diamond. Most people are familiar with how a baseball game is played. Basically, you start at home, you run to first base, then to second base, then to third base, and then you run back to home. So before we begin running the bases here this morning, I'd like to tell you that Babe Ruth ran more home runs than anyone else in history, and he also struck out more than anyone else in history. So we all want to be like Babe Ruth, and we want to understand from the beginning that sometimes we are going to strike out, but the more times we strike out, the more home runs we are ultimately going to make. So in this wonderful business of network marketing, you do have to do the right things, but even more important than what you do is what you duplicate. So it doesn't necessarily matter if what you're doing is working for you. It needs to be something that's duplicatable by the people on your team. And the exciting thing about this model of duplication is if you find people who can say they have full-time jobs, but say they can put 1 hour a day into their network marketing business, and they each find some people who can put 1 hour a day into their network marketing business, over time, you can actually create a 40-hour work day for yourself. And I don't think that that's possible anywhere else except for in the wonderful world of network marketing. And so that's why I absolutely love this business model. So our objective here is to keep everything simple, keep it duplicatable so that even a child could do this business. So we're going to start at home base. And at home base, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to very clearly know why we have chosen to be on this SIA journey. And what I recommend is that half of your why would be mission driven. I think we're all in this company because we understand that this is the most significant health technology in our generation, and that we definitely have the ability to absolutely transform people's lives on a physical level with these incredible products. And again, our mission might be to help people also change their lives financially. Like yesterday on the charge-up call, Kathy Howell from Kentucky has been able to replace the income that she was getting from her husband for child support by only being in a SIA for a few months. And that has been almost as much of a difference in her life as what the products have done for her. And then 50% of your why really should be your own personal dream. For some people it's going to be to get out of debt. For some people it's going to be to start a college fund. For some people it's going to be to set up a retirement, a stream of ongoing residual income in their golden years. So whatever your why is, write it down on a piece of paper, have it in front of you in your day timer, put it on your mirror where you wake up in the morning, and every single morning you are in touch with exactly why you are going out there, getting out of your comfort zone, sometimes getting into your fear zone, and doing what it takes consistently over a long period of time to build your SIA business. And so the second thing on home base is attitude. Okay, when I first got into network marketing in 1993, my sponsor, who was the #1 income earner in the world in that company, he told me where you'll be 5 years from now depends on the books you read, the CDs you listen to, and the events you attend. Well, I don't know about you folks on the line today, but I had a burning desire to be somewhere else than where I was at that point in time. I had a desire to be more, do more, and have more. And so I took his advice very seriously, and I started reading books on network marketing. I started to attend events. Even at that time, I did not have the cash flow to do so. You know, a lot of businesses start on a shoestring. And so I made a decision that I was going to do what it took to learn this incredible business. So what we've done for you here at ASEA, we've put together what we call an attitude pack. You can go to www.aseastore.com. For $26.95, you can go to MLM University. A lot of people go to college. They spend 4 years, hundreds of hours, thousands and thousands of dollars to get a degree. When they get out, they can earn 40, 50, 60 grand a year. Well, guess what, you guys? We have a business model here with the potential to earn that kind of money a month, okay? So you want to take your education very seriously. The attitude pack is just the beginning of your MLM education. If you're serious about changing your life, guess what? You have to change your life. And that means that turn your car into a network marketing university. Turn your home into a network marketing university and put your money where your mouth is. The third thing we're going to do at home base is we're going to make our list of people. What is this business built on? It's built on building a team. Well, guess what? When Alan Noble joined ASEA and he got his starter package from ASEA, he opened it up and there was no people in it. I bet you guys didn't have any people in your starter kit either. So what we want to do is we want to make a list of everyone we know. We don't want to prejudge them. And we're going to start with a list of 20. Now, if you want to write a list of 100 or 200, that's fantastic. But we want to make this, again, duplicatable so that everyone can do it. And so at least 20. And if you don't have a list, you're just playing games. And even though this is a baseball diamond, this is not a game. So you definitely want to make a list. The dullest pencil is better than the sharpest mind. Now, a good place to make your list, you can actually print out the 2020 Club paperwork from your back office or from A-Team support, and that's just a convenient place to put your list. And while you're there, you may take a look at the 2020 Club. If you're just starting in ASEA, or even if you're not just starting in ASEA, the 2020 Club is an excellent way to create momentum, set a great example for your team. The speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack, and the very best thing that you can do for your business is to make a commitment and a decision to do the 2020 Club. And for more information on that, be sure to talk to your sponsor or your upline active person. This is a mentoring club. The 2020 Club is a mentoring club. So you're going to want to talk to someone in your support team who you feel could be a good mentor to you so you can make a decision about the 2020 Club for yourself. The 2020 Club is a terrific way to move a lot of people around the bases in a short period of time, which is our objective in this game. Then after we get all set up at home, we're going to move to first base. And first base is invite. We're going to invite people to take a look at ASEA. And I like the word invite because it reminds me of inviting people to a party. Hey, we're not getting all tied up in knots. We're not getting all crazed about this kind of thing. What we're doing is we're just inviting people to take a look at something that we're super excited about and also super convicted about. And so the best way to invite people is to learn a script. Again, this is a duplicatable business. So even though you may feel very comfortable knowing what you want to say to people, you're going to sponsor people who have no idea, that maybe aren't as good with words as you are. And so you're going to want to use a script, and you're going to want to teach your people to use a script. So if you go to amazingteamsupport.com, and you click on the Run the Bases tab, there are scripts there that you can use. The product script is very simple. And what it does is it teaches you right away to start asking questions and listening. And so the question that we're going to ask people when we call them up, a lot of times we're going to get their voicemail, and what we're going to say is, hey, this is Trish. Please give me a call back as soon as you get a few minutes. I'd like to ask you a quick question. So great. The person calls us back. They're like, hey, Trish, what's up? I'm like, well, listen, I have a question for you. Have you ever heard of signaling molecules? What are they going to say? They're going to say, no, I haven't. I'm going to say, well, did you know that your body is made of about 75 trillion cells, and signaling molecules regenerate every cell in your body, which can regenerate your entire body? I used to have anxiety attacks where I felt like I was going to die for as long as I can remember. I started drinking some signaling molecules that an amazing company has been able to put in a bottle, and I haven't had a single full-blown anxiety attack since then, which was 15 months ago. People are getting astounding results physically, mentally, emotionally with these signaling molecules. If I send you a link, will you take a few minutes today or tomorrow to open up the link and take a look at the information? What are most people going to say? They're going to say, sure, I'd be happy to do that. And then I'm going to say, great, I want to call you back to answer your questions. Well, now we're getting into the follow-up part. But anyway, the moral of the story is learn a simple script. That's the product script. The business script is equally simple. If I'm in a restaurant, which I was a few months ago with my sister-in-law Trudy in Pennsylvania, and I'm talking to the owner of the restaurant, I didn't go into the product immediately with him, the owner of the restaurant. What I said was, after chatting with him about his restaurant and his other restaurant on the other side of town, I just said, hey, Bob, if there was a way that you could generate income outside of your restaurant business, would it be something you'd want to take a look at? Well, what did Bob say? He said, what's it about? Well, guess what I said? Have you ever heard of signaling molecules? Well, no, I haven't. Well, Bob, did you know that your body is made of approximately 75 trillion cells? Signaling molecules regenerate every cell in your body, which can regenerate your entire body. I used to have this health issue, blah, blah, blah. Now I don't because of ASEA, and these molecules are having an astounding effect on people's physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And if I send you a link, will you take a few minutes in the next 24 to 48 hours to open it up and look at it? Well, yes, I will. Fantastic. Let's set a time when I can call you up and answer your questions. What's the best number to call you on? What's the best time to call you? So what you want to do, you guys, is you want to get these scripts down cold so you can deliver them hot. You want to learn the words when you're in your car. You want to be saying them over and over and over again. When you're on your walks, when you're doing the dishes, whatever it is that you're doing, you want to be practicing these scripts over and over and over again so that when you're talking to a real live person, you're not caught off guard. You know exactly what you're going to say, and because you know exactly what you're going to say, you can infuse it with your spirit, with your energy, and you want to deliver these scripts with enthusiasm. And enthusiasm comes from the Greek words entheos, meaning in the spirit. So it's not like you have to be a cheerleader jumping up and down. Chuck Gates' enthusiasm is going to look a lot different than my enthusiasm, but Chuck Gates is coming from his heart, from his spirit, and people are going to feel that even though he's a little more low-key than I am. Okay, so we've invited someone to take a look at ASEA. Well, now we're going to run to second base with them, and we're going to use a tool to tell the story of ASEA. Well, Ron Singleton, who is in Brandon Coffey's organization, is a custom home builder. Guess what? Ron Singleton has a whole bunch of tools that he uses to build his custom homes with. Well, what if he didn't have a whole bunch of tools? Or what if he had a whole bunch of tools, but he didn't know how they were supposed to be used? Well, guess what? He probably wouldn't be able to build a very good house, would he? So in ASEA, your job is not to be a walking encyclopedia. Your job is to be aware and to learn the tools that you have at your disposal to help tell the story of ASEA. So we're going to go through some of the tools that we use. Our first core tool, of course, is AmazingMolecules.net, the fantastic website that Alan Noble has provided. It's the most popular, the most used, and the tool that has the best track record of success, you guys. So when you send people to amazingmolecules.net, it's a product and a business presentation. They don't have to make any choices. It goes directly into Alan Noble starting to tell the story of ASEA. Now, if you have someone where you really don't want to talk the business with them on the first go-around, you can send them to www.amazingmolecules.com/ASEA. So you kind of have to judge which of those is going to be most appropriate for someone. Now, the great thing about a website is, guess what? It doesn't cost you anything, and it can be instant. Someone can instantly, the minute you're talking to them, the second you're talking to them, you can instantly email them this presentation. Another great tool that we have is the ASEA Vision Call. Every Tuesday night, usually Alan Noble, along with about 4 people typically, deliver knock your socks off testimonials about how ASEA has changed your life, and this is their life, and this is a fantastic tool to use to introduce your friends, your guests to ASEA. Another tool that we have is live webinars. In the month of April, we are having live webinars on Thursday that may be discontinued during the summer months, but you can also create your own webinars, which is super fun to be able to share the story of ASEA long distance. One of my favorite tools is a CD. I'm a very busy person. If someone asks me to go to a link, I might not do it because when I'm in front of my computer, I'm normally working, and I almost never take time to watch videos, mostly because I don't know how to run the TV in my house, and so it's very difficult for me to watch a DVD. So, but what I would do when I'm in my car, I'm always listening to CDs, and so if someone gave me a CD, I would absolutely listen to that. So if you're not having success getting someone to go to a website, well, guess what? You may want to invest in some CDs that you can have to give to people. So you go to amazingcd.com to order those CDs. You can download them. You can burn them. I prefer to order them. Why do I prefer to order them? Because it's more duplicatable. And you get 25 of them for $25. There's the story of ASEA with Alan Noble. And I also love Amazing Molecules for Athletes. It's a 10-minute CD that you can give to an athlete where they can hear the story of ASEA. So what we're doing with these tools, you guys, is we are using a third-party credibility to share the story of ASEA with someone. So whether it's a tool or whether it's a live person, here's you. Okay, you are the bee. Your job is to invite someone and then to be quiet and let the tools do the talking. Now, in some cases, especially if you're doing the 2020 Club, your mentor is going to be doing some of the talking. The C here, this is your friend, your person that is wanting to learn about ASEA. And because you have a trust relationship with your friend, automatically when you introduce your mentor to that person, you have just established a trust relationship between them, which is extremely powerful. This business is all about building trust and building relationships. So a lot of people have local meetings in their area. If you do not have local meetings, guess what? If it's to be, it's up to me. It might be time for you to step up. There's lots of ways to create a local meeting. You can do a luncheon at a local restaurant that has a banquet room. You can do a once-a-month potluck at your home where you share testimonials and watch a video. You can do one-on-ones or two-on-ones. You can do in-homes. Whenever you do a presentation, though, you want to use a tool. You want to use a PowerPoint or a flip chart that you can get from Amazing Team Support. Why do you want to use a flip chart, or why do you want to use a PowerPoint? Again, to be duplicatable so that anyone who's watching you do it looks at you and they say, well, wow, that looks pretty simple. I could do that too. Okay, after someone has reviewed a tool, and let me make this clear, sometimes one tool is not going to be enough. Sometimes someone is going to watch the website and then they're going to have questions, and then you're going to want to get them on the vision call, and then they still may have questions, and then you may get them on, let's say, Gary Samuelson's science call. The science call is not a core tool. It's an auxiliary tool. It's usually not something that you would want to lead with, but you also want to become familiar with the auxiliary. I know I'm saying that wrong, but just bear with me. follow-up tools, auxiliary tools, I like to call them. Okay, so third base, your job is to follow up and collect a decision. So here's the most important principle in following up. What most people tend to do is they tend to tell, and when they're done telling, they tell some more. And that is absolutely the incorrect formula for inviting or for following up. And the correct formula is ask a question, be quiet, and listen. So when you're following up, your job is to ask questions. Well, what are some questions you can ask? Well, first of all, of course, you're going to ask them if they reviewed the material. And if they say, when they say yes, you're going to ask them, well, what did you like best so far? Or what did you see that caught your attention? So they're going to tell you what they liked best. You're going to ask them if they have any other questions. And here's the important part, you guys. Like Dave Gilday says, this business is not built in your comfort zone. It's built in your fear zone. So you need to get in the habit of asking people a collect a decision question. And so what your objective here is, of course, we want people to experience this fantastic ASEA molecular supplement. So we want people to become a customer or an associate, or perhaps they're going to need more information, or perhaps they're going to say, no thanks, this isn't for me. So in that case, we're going to ask for a referral. But what you want to do is you want to get in the habit of asking people this question right here. What else do you need to make a decision? You know what, you guys, they're going to tell you. I was at a meeting in Albuquerque where a woman had come to the event. I knew that she had reviewed a lot of material beforehand. And right in front of everybody, I was up giving a presentation. I said to this woman, I said, you know, her name was Paula. I said, Paula, what else do you need to make a decision? And Paula said, I need to know more about the comp plan. And I said, fantastic. After the presentation, I'll sit down with you and the person who brought you and myself will review the comp plan. Now, Paula, after we review the comp plan, are you going to be ready to start as a customer or an associate? And Paula said, yes, she would. So guess what? We sat down, we showed her the comp plan, she signed up with 4 cases, and so what we did is we helped Paula make the decision that was right for her by asking questions, leading her to make a decision. So very important to follow up, just as important to collect a decision. And again, sometimes it may take more tools than just one. We don't want to pressure people, we want to educate people, but we do want to ask people the questions. And I love the question, would you like to start as a customer or as an associate? Thanks to Patty Blonda, she's the one who taught me that question, and it works very, very well, you guys. Okay, on third base at follow-up is where you mostly want to take advantage of 3-way calling. If you do not know how to do a 3-way call, learn how to do it. This is not important, it's critical. You absolutely, if you choose to build a big ASEA business, you absolutely must learn how to do a 3-way call. The time to do a 3-way call usually is after you've invited someone, after they've reviewed the information, then they have some questions. Even if you can answer them, you're going to want to set a time when you, or just dial into your mentor right away and use a third party to answer questions. Well, why are you going to want to do that? Again, the principle of duplication. You want everybody to say, well, wow, I could do what you're doing. And so if they realize that you don't necessarily have all the answers, but hey, you're out there sharing ASEA, well, guess what? They're going to think, well, hey, I don't have to know all the answers. I can depend on 3-way calling to get my person's questions answered. Okay, guys, then we're going to run to home, and on the way to home, we're going to teach our associates how to run the bases, okay? The biggest part of this business is teach your people to do the same. So we're going to go to Alan's site, amazingmoleculestraining.com. We're going to download the ASEA Essentials checklist. Most importantly, This one right here, we're going to plug our people in. We're going to get them connected to the daily charge-up calls. We are going to get them connected to the vision call. We're going to get them connected not only to me, their personal sponsor, I'm going to connect them to the people above me so that they know that they have a whole support team ready to support them. And we're going to continue to invite them to different events to help build their vision. Like the other day, I was up in Sun Valley with Claire Fenton. Some people showed a great deal of interest in ASEA. Some of them joined ASEA. And I told Claire, you know what, the next step is you need to call people and ask them what they're doing on Monday night at 7 p.m. And if they're available, invite them to Dr. Ward's webinar. Now, these are people who may already be ASEAites, but we want to invite them, plug them in, make them aware. Don't just make them aware. Actually invite them. Get them on their first few calls. Do three-ways with them. And just be very hands-on in continuing to build vision with your people through showing them other tools and bringing them to other events, whether they're phone events, online events, or of course live events. And I hope everyone is signed up to go to Vegas in August at the convention. This week is the last week to get your $69 tickets. We're going to have a ton of fun. You're going to learn a lot. And if you're serious about building a big ASEA business, you will make Vegas happen for you. And you will be glad that you did. Okay, you guys, so that's how simple the baseball diamond is. We run around the bases. No one can put you out except for yourself. Sometimes people flake out. Sometimes they don't review the information. Sometimes they don't answer your follow-up calls. Guess what? We continue to expand our list. We continue to invite new people to take a look at ASEA. We continue to run around the bases just like Babe Ruth did, and the more you run the bases with your people, the bigger your organization is going to grow. Now, sometimes, you guys, it's going to take 10 minutes to run the bases with people. I've actually had that happen to me. I called a friend of mine who I invited her to take a look at ASEA. I told her just a little bit about it, and she said, sign me up with 4 cases. It took me literally 10 minutes to run the bases with this woman. Sometimes it's going to take a week. A week would probably be the optimal amount of time for running the bases with someone. On the other hand, it may take longer. Carol Haddock told her doctor about ASEA a year ago, kept taking information to him, and after a full year, after finally getting him on a 3-way call with someone who could talk some science to him, she signed him up and he came in with 30 cases. And in her case, it took a year to run around the bases with her doctor. That's not optimal, but that kudos to Carol, and so, you know, never say die. So I hope you enjoyed this information. Our objective here is to create duplication all around the globe. The ASEA vision, which I absolutely love, is to attain worldwide distribution of ASEA in record time. And ASEA is going to send you a thank you check, not just for the people that you introduced to ASEA, but for the entire network that you created. Robert Kiyosaki says that wealthy people look for and create networks, and everyone else just looks for a job. So let's go out, let's create a big ASEA network, and always keeping true to what we know is true with ASEA, that there is nothing better than making a living while making a difference. And every step of the way, we're leading with our heart, we're sharing our spirit, we're always at the service of others. We always have the highest and best good of each person in mind, staying detached from the results. This is not about us, it's about them. But you run around the bases with enough people, and I will see you at the top in ASEA. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful ASEA day.